Hello and welcome back to the to the wonderful stream from Hello Creator TV. My name is Peter Mischen, and today I'm not only joined by a humongous friendly robot, but also by Bertrand. Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for having us here and talking about Here. Can you tell us a little bit what your role here is and where we are today?
Yeah, my name is Jean. I'm head of program and development of Continuum / Museumplein Limburg, and we're in the middle of our exhibition, our interactive exhibition about science and technology, and we as an organization are part of the Wanderful.stream project.
Okay, that explains a little bit of the noises we might hear here today. We have this little robot talking to us a little bit. We have these huge clock ticking here. So if you hear any noises today, this is the reason for that, because we're in the middle of an exhibition. Jean, can you talk a little bit of our program we have today?
In the first part of the program, we have three very interesting speakers, I think. The first one will be Herbert Smit from 10XL, which is a firm which is specialized in big proportion 3D printing with industrial robots. The second one is Birgit Dekkers from De Planeet, a designer and business developer from Belgium. And last but not least, the last one, Sarah Gillissen, which is the project manager of the Wanderful.stream project.
All right, and after that we will have a little film about the Continuum Museum, which we made last Friday, which will be very nice to see. And after that we have a short interview with Sarah Gillissen and you, and we talk a little bit more about Wanderful.stream. But I'm thinking we should say, let's go and start with Herbert Smits from 10XL keynote. So Herbert, if you're ready to go, please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon all. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I would like to invite you to my world, the world of large area additive manufacturing with recycled plastics. I will show you some of our work, of our company, and why we are here. It might be a good idea well, I'll first introduce myself. My name is Herbert Smits. I'm CEO of 10XL. I'm 46 years old. I'm an industrial designer originally, and the last 5 years, since 2016, my world turns around large area additive manufacturing with recycled plastics. I will show you some of our work. I will try to share my screen. I think it will be this one. All right. I hope my screen is visible. Yes? All right, cool. Like I said, we are here since 2016. We started with nothing. There was no 3D printer large enough to do what we wanted. And what we wanted was to print objects up to 10 meters. So the first thing is that we've built a machine that actually combines three different manufacturing methods. And the first one is 3D printing. But we all know 3D printing is a method that stacks layers on top of each other. You can do it really fast, but still the layers are there, and the layers are visible. If you want to have a really accurate model, we thought, okay, how should we do that? Because if you print something, you see the layers, but they're not really accurate. That's why we added robotic CNC printing to the mix. So we build a rough model, and then we make it accurate by CNCing the models. And last but not least is we use automated tape placement to make a part stronger. So what we do is we add tape, which consists of the same plastic and the same fibers and the same additives as the print, and we add it on top of the print. So we melt something on top of the print, but it's the same. It's exactly the same material. So that's just what we do. So we print, we CNC, and we add tape. You see an example here. This is we've built a large machine that is 6 by 2 by 1.5 meter. That we use for custom projects. And the other one is a combination of two machines, and it's capable of printing and CNCing objects that are 2 by 2 by 2 meters large. Now we started 5 years ago, and we started with, I'm a bit ashamed to say, we started with virgin plastics. Because we had no idea what kind of plastic we should use, but we had the idea we needed to print something. So we spoke with Lionel Basel and Sabik, and we asked them, do you also supply recycled plastics? But nobody did that. So then we thought, okay, we need to supply our own recycled plastics. Well, how did we do that? The first project we did was for Gispe. Gispe is a Dutch furniture brand, and they gave us a call and they said, we heard you have this really big printer. But what we actually think is you didn't build that printer to build large projects, but you built that printer to produce things in series. And I totally agree with them, but we didn't think about that. But still, they were right. So what we were doing in that project is we used a 6x2 printer to produce bench frames. But the material was supplied by Gispe because they said, okay, we don't want to use virgin plastics. We don't want to use recycled plastics. We want to use end-of-life plastics, which I thought was a great idea. Luckily, we had built a printer that could use anything. It's made by a really big extruder because we wanted to build large parts, but also the extruder is really fit for throwing everything inside. So we don't use nice granulate. We use maalgoed, and the maalgoed is made from everything. So we started with nice granulates of let's say 2 millimeters large, but now we use chunks that can range up to almost 10 millimeters. So what we do, we've shredded the old furniture, we added some glass fiber, and then we made a compound, we printed it, and then we've built a sofa. And the sofa is made from a large print, as well as recycled foam from old mattresses and a recycled polyester fabric. So that's how we were able to build a 95% recyclable product. It's something we didn't intend to do because I just wanted to print something. But in the end, after a year of prototyping, we could print in series with the old materials from Gispe, this kind of products. Now we've printed about 150 of them. So we actually proved we can do it also in a commercial viable way. And this is something, it's like how we now use and how we source our materials. The first thing is we only use recycled plastics, but there is different types of recycled plastics. You can actually use post-industrial waste, which feels a bit like cheating because it's waste material from production processes. It's almost virgin plastics, but it's still a waste product. There's also a way to use post-industrial waste plus post-consumer waste. And in that way, you can use the characteristics of post-industrial waste because you know what it is, you know all the additives, you know exactly what kind of plastic it was. You add post-consumer waste, you dry blend it. It's like you just mix it without any compounding. You just mix two different sources of material, and therefore you can use it directly. But the best thing is, which I always think, is using end-of-life materials by closing the circle. All right, cool. What kind of projects did we do? This is one of the first projects we did after Gispe. It's for Studio Liebeskind. They just gave us a call and they said, can you print a 12-meter high statue? So basically the statue itself is made in Canada with wood. It was shipped to Venice and we've printed the void. And the void is a 4-meter high object, and it is printed, CNC'd, and then a special metal is added, metal paint, which is, and the nice thing about this is that you can actually combine two different parts that are made completely in different parts of the world, and you combine it and they fit, which is nice. This is a 14-meter large arm for a trade show. This is something we've made for ProRail. It's the Dutch ProRail. It's an integrated energy solution, as well as a place where you can sit. Molds. This is also nice. We do molds. We use CNC. First we print it and then we CNC it. And the nice thing about the CNCing is, so you make it accurate, like I told you, but we can also use all the material we remove to print new objects. So we print something, we remove, let's say, a couple of millimeters, and everything that we remove is entered in the 3D printer as a source material. So we don't waste any material. If the mold is, if the parts are made, they return the mold, we shred the mold, and we create a new one. But what we actually prefer is producing larger series. The projects that I've just shown are smaller series, custom products. But what we do prefer is larger series. This is something that I told. This is the Gispe part. It's a view from below, and where you can see where we win the game is that like the springs are not made from steel anymore, but they're made from the same material as where we print the sofa with. Assembly time is really fast. It's much faster than assembling the sofa in the traditional way. And you can also remove all the different parts. So the foam is not glued. It's there. And if you remove the fabric, you can easily remove the foam. So nothing is glued anymore. So it's fully it's designed for disassembly. This is a boat we've done last year. We can print 5.5. This is a 5.5 meter print. It was introduced on a trade show. Well, 2 days, and then the trade show was cancelled because of Corona. But it's a fully electrical boat, and the boat is printed with post-consumer waste. So it's just the things that you throw away at home. That's what we use to print this boat. We can print it in 24 hours, and the best thing is that it actually replaces thermoset materials. So we replace thermoset with post-consumer thermoplastics, and that is a big transition because thermosets are extremely difficult to recycle. So it's like if you know polyester and epoxy, those are things that you don't want to use. This is an awesome product. It's a city guard. The city guard is something that you place on a container, so to prevent people from placing their excess waste, so they don't throw it in the container, but they place it around the container, which is a problem. And this actually prevents people from placing their waste against the container. It's also made from recycled plastics. It's green in the city. It's a great project. This is the same. We've printed 100 of those benches for a province in the Netherlands, this province of South Holland. This is also what we do is like we always offer an integral solution. So we don't use concrete. We've designed a foot of this bench that has enough stability if you place it, let's say 30 centimeters in the ground. So you don't need concrete anymore. We have a core team. We consist of 3 people, 3 founders, and we have hired 3 extra people to help us with developing the machines, the material, and doing product design. We spent enormous amounts of time and money on technical improvements. This is something that we did. We've made a continuous fiber, and the continuous fiber compensates for the weaknesses of the recycled thermoplastics. So if you want to use post-consumer waste, it's not as strong, but we add a continuous fiber, it's like a wire that you add during printing, so you actually improve your mechanical properties. Sometimes we win an award. We were kind of proud of this, but it's in 2018, so I think it's time that we should win something again. I think I'm done. I'm not sure if it was too long or too short. I think I'm ready for some questions, if you like.
All right. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
Sure. Hi.
Can you answer me on one question? How did you find your way to Wanderful.stream?
I think they found my way. I think we are an example for some people, because we only use recycled products. We do it in a circular way, and I was invited to tell something about this.
All right. We stalked you a little bit online, and I think one of the things you read is that you created a bridge out of plastic materials. Is that right?
Okay, correct.
All right.
It's the bridge is a recent project, and I am proud on that one, because doing something with thermoplastics is not easy to do. Structural products is even more difficult, and the bridge is something that is dynamically loaded and which is even more difficult. And we actually we designed our own compound for this. So we didn't settle for available compounds. We just started completely new. We made a compound and what we did is we checked all different plastics that were available, but none of them actually was fit to be outside for more than 20 years. So what we did is we identified a waste stream from an engineering company, and we used that plastic so to be able to offer a thermoplastic that can be outside for 100 years. So we didn't settle for something that was available. We just made our own compound, and then we printed a bridge, which is 7 meters long, and there is great traction on that. So we will be printing, I think, 10 more bridges this year, and we plan to print 100 bridges next year.
I was wondering about that, because I think I never walked on a plastic bridge before. It was always like some form of concrete or like wood. So this is the point where because it can stand there for 100 years? Is this the point of it?
Yeah, it's by itself it is flame retardant and UV stable. And we've chosen that plastic because we don't need to add additives to do that. Because if you place additives in plastic, it's like we always talk about plastic, but plastic it's only the polymer.
Oh, all right,
but
okay.
Even more important is additives and fibers. You can place anything in any kind of plastic and you can change it. You can make it stronger or stiffer or more resilient, but we've chosen not to add any additives, but try to identify a higher end plastic that can actually was UV stable by itself. So you don't need to add extra bad stuff.
All right. One of the things you talked about was that you also printed a boat, right?
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, one of my friends has a very casual 3D printer. And when I saw this for the first time, it takes forever to make a tiny cube of anything. How long does it take to make a huge boat you can stay on?
What do you think?
What thing?
It's 24 hours. So we can print a boat every day.
That's crazy.
But we've spent so much time on thinking of what is the best way to print it. We changed the layout of the printer. We spent 1 year to be able to print something in 24 hours. And it's like the concept behind 3D printing is we just turned it around. Normally 3D printing is made, you don't spend much time on the engineering and you print one part just for prototyping. Well, we believe that you need to spend really long on the preparation and then print as much as possible. And I think that is the way to make a correct business case. We spent half a year on the GISPE project, but now we can print something in 2.5 hours.
That is insane. I've never heard of anybody that could produce a boat in 24 hours. I think one of the materials you use is shampoo bottles, right?
Yeah.
So how much of shampoo bottles can I imagine? How many shampoo bottles do you take to print a boat?
Actually, I'm not sure the amount, but I know we use about 400 kilograms to print a boat.
Wow.
And I'm not sure how much shampoo bottles that are. I need to calculate that because I should be able to answer that.
Yeah, that should be a fun fact.
Ask me next time. But it's about 450 kilograms. And all of it is post-consumer waste. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Gebert. I'm flabbergasted that you can print a boat in 24 hours. I'm shook.
All right.
So
cool.
Thank you so much for your insights. And we'll have a short break, and then we're back with Birgit Deckers. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. All right, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, now we're back with Birgit Deckers. She's from Studio Planet, and she will hold another keynote for you. Starting now, Birgit, the stage is yours.
All right, thank you very much for inviting me. So my name is Birgit. I'm also an industrial designer, just like Gerrit. I'm 34 years old, and I am working, living, and playing in Hasselt in Belgium. And I'm also a designer and a business developer for the Wanderful.stream project. So I also have something prepared to show you. So let me share my screen. All right, so I wanted to start about talking a little bit about the wonderful profession of industrial design. When I got my education, it was really great because we learned everything about metals and plastics, and we spent the last century creating processes where we can make almost every shape imaginable. And it's so fun to think of creative ways, standardization, and to think of products that can be mass produced. So at the time I was studying, I thought it was really great and interesting, but I always felt that something was missing. So until one day, about 5 years ago, I got the opportunity to go to Shanghai to teach a group of 18-year-old students this beautiful profession of design. It was actually for an undergraduate program for Dirk Wijnands of Extremis. It's a famous Belgian brand of sustainable outdoor furniture. So the program was actually called Sustainable Furniture Design. So maybe you know this. This is the famous first round picnic table, which Dirk designed 25 years ago. And this is sustainable in a way. He uses the materials. He uses steel and he uses galvanized steel, and he uses tropical hardwoods, materials that will last for generations and generations. Also, the design is very minimalistic, and that's the reason this is sustainable as we knew it 25 years ago. Of course, over the years, many things have changed in using these materials, but I will talk about that more later. So it was really a strange time for me, because I was teaching kids about sustainable design, about eco-design strategies, using the right materials and things like this. But at the same time, I was living here, and it was crazy. I was walking down the street, and I had to dodge garbage bags flowing out from the windows. People just threw it on the street. The air was polluted, so I'm sad to say, but this is not the first time in my life that I'm wearing a face mask. I already wore it there. And then actually, while I was really confronted with pollution for the first time in my life. And then suddenly, while teaching these kids, it hit me that actually I was educated to design this, because every product that I was going to design that will end up in a mass production would eventually end up here. So I actually saw the light through the smoke, and that's when I decided to never design waste again. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't believe we should go all back to this. I'm still a little bit a nerd, a scientist, so I love technology, and I believe we should keep the revolution going on, but at the same time, preserve our nature and its animals, and provide health and well-being for all people. And this is, of course, known as the famous triangle of planet, people, and profit. And sustainability is what happens in the center. So when everything is in balance. Now, I love all of these topics equally, but also I especially love people. So my field of play is the living environment. So I'm actually working on designs for smart, sustainable cities, circular buildings, interior and public spaces. So the examples I will give to you will be in that field. So, but since materials are for the designer what paint is to an artist, let's have a closer look at what's happening in materials. So I started my presentation. Metals is one of the most important materials for designers and engineers to work with. And still now, every year, 150 million tons is produced, and more than half of that is thrown away every year. The production process of steel is very energy intensive. It needs very high temperatures. And of course, you also need chemicals to get rid of impurities, which creates a slag. There is a company here close by, is actually producing the steel, and the company next door to that company is holding all the slags that are created during the production process. It's actually creating mountains of waste, of chemical waste, and we don't know anything to do with that. Well, they invented actually a technology which we can use these materials to create bricks. And these bricks, they take out CO2 out of the air. So actually, when you make a building out of these bricks, it will purify the air for a long time after it's being built, and it's made entirely out of the waste stream from the production of steel. Another the biggest or the greatest amount of waste in the world is coming from construction waste. And every year, 22.5 billion tons are produced and 1.3 billion tons are going to waste. Here is a Dutch company that makes bricks. To stay in the same topic, they make bricks out of this waste. So they are actually using waste material to create completely new bricks. So they use 91 kilogram of waste per square meters of upcycled materials in a wall. You can see here, since 2011, they use 550,000 kilograms of waste in their building materials. So you can see it's still a very small amount of the yearly amount that is still produced. So there's a lot of work or a lot of opportunities there still to discover. Second or thirdly, the plastics, of course. I think most of you know this problems. 400 million tons are produced every year, and 264 million tons end up in landfill. There's this company I'm working with. They're actually kind of pioneers. They started 25 years ago with making profiles from industrial plastic waste. The profiles they make are 100% recyclable, so we can recycle and recycle them again. And they are recycling about 350 million plastic bottles per year. The kind of products they are making are public street furniture, but also profiles for terraces or for in horse stables. And of course, we all know this because plastic or crude oil, especially, is starting to be a really scarce resource. We are all looking for solutions and developing plastics that are made from natural ingredients. Here we are actually making the exactly same product as we are used to, just the resource is different. We're using cornstarch to make this product, but actually we are not changing the way people use these products. So it's still a throwaway product. So this raises some questions for me. So also because it's made out of starch, these plastics, let's have a look at agricultural waste. Almost 1 billion ton goes to waste every year, and that is food and green. So a lot of people are starving in the world, but a lot of food is thrown away. And apart from that, a Dutch research institute, they explored the possibilities of, for example, red bell pepper. So only the fruits are taken to be sold, and all the rest of the plant is actually just going to waste. And these are really interesting fibers to work with. For example, here's again a Belgian company. They developed a biodegradable thermoset plastic, which can be used to make as a binder to make this composite material. So using the fibers from the agricultural waste and making a completely biodegradable panel that can be used instead of an MDF of an OSB board. And that takes me straight to, of course, wood. We produce 480 million tons per wood each year. And of course, here we see there's a lot of waste from the furniture industry. And I think it's about 10 million tons of waste in Europe alone every year. So solutions to this problem, I see startups popping up everywhere, making this kind of social workplaces where they go urban mining, going to buildings before they get torn down and extracting all the valuable materials. I myself made a little design, an urban farm, to also engage locals to spend more time outside and create their own vegetables. But of course, you can see this small product can never save the amount of waste that is created. Another interesting company that is actually has developed a solution to recycle these MDF boards. MDF is very bad for the environment because, also as Gerbert has mentioned, it's using a thermoset resin combined with wood, so it's actually not recyclable. Well, they find a way, a pyrolyze process to convert this MDF waste into biochar. And biochar is a very interesting material because it can be used as an air purifier or to improve the soil for as a fertilizer for plants. So again, many possibilities here from this recycled material, and they still have to be developed. I also want to talk a little bit about nature, because actually, who doesn't want to be here right now? We are all sitting behind our screen, listening to this online event, but actually humans have, our nature is to find connection with nature. And there is so much we can learn as designers from nature. For example, this is a mycelium spawn. Mycelium is actually the biggest living animal or organism on the planet. It grows underground, and it's actually the base of a mushroom. So if you find mushrooms in the forest, they're all connected to each other through this underground network of spawns. This is very interesting because companies like Ecovative, they find a way you can actually grow this mycelium into hemp waste and grow it into a mold, let it dry, and it forms this these kind of materials which can be used as a packaging. It can replace expanded polystyrene, which is again a thermoplastic, which is not easy to recycle. But also Mogu, it has this mycelium also has acoustic properties. So they are creating acoustic panels for indoors, which can, of course, all be fully biodegradable again. And last but not least, you can even make bricks. This is an installation in front of the MoMA Museum in New York, and it also is used to make insulation. We can also learn a lot from the insects that are living on our planet. For example, the DNA of this spider silk. Actually, a company, by copying this DNA, they find an industrial process to create fabrics that are actually from spider yarn. So it's not actually, they're not using actual spiders to create this yarn, but they copied it, so learned from nature. This is a coat from North Face, which is made out of this fabric. And here we're talking about waste streams, of course, in the Wanderful.stream project. Here you can see a waste from I cannot pronounce it, shrimps and lobster shells. There's just thrown back into the sea, into the ocean, and actually you can build also bioplastics from these shells. This can also be used, this material, in 3D printing, and this technology was researched and developed by Neri Oxman at MIT. She's one of my big idols. She's doing a lot of research in the field of biotech. and actually this is the pavilion they built out of these waste stream from lobsters. So these are all very interesting technologies and innovations, but I'm wondering why is not anyone using them yet, or not everyone using them. And there's this saying of Ash Moria, and it says, life's too short to build something nobody wants. So is the world, are consumers actually waiting for these products? We are all from technology driven. We are creating them. We are trying to solve the problem of waste. But consumers, do they buy it? Probably not yet, because these new technologies are very expensive still. And they're more expensive than the cheap mass-produced stuff that we are used to. So this is the problem, and this is where it gets interesting. Because now we don't only design the product, we also need to reinvent the way we are selling it. I wanted to share with you some examples of innovative business models. This one is Precious Plastic. They are actually rooting for everyone at home to recycle their own plastics. They are showing you an open source. They are giving away the technology about how you can build this tiny machine at home to recycle your own plastics to make them into new products. This is another example for office furniture. This company no longer tries to sell their own desks. They sell the design. So you can download the fabrication files and make it yourself with the tools you have around you and the materials you find around you. This is also a very big part of the circular economy, is to work local. Because obviously, if you ship something to the other side of the world, again, this is a big impact on the carbon footprint. This is a Belgium architecture studio. They designed a circular building system. It's called Mozart, Modular Open System for Architectural Design. So they designed the components, but they're not selling them, because they want designers and architects to have the freedom to still be creative. So what they are doing is they are creating this library. So all local producers of sustainable materials like bricks and building systems, they can actually come to this platform, and then they bring architect and the manufacturer together to engineer this modular component together, with, of course, in mind design for disassembly, that when we ever have to tear down this building, we can just take these components and reuse them in a new building. They are working with a label, so they have this set of rules that suppliers need to answer to get into this library, to make sure that all materials are safe and healthy and eco-friendly. Last example I wanted to give is Arend. It's a Dutch company, also in office furniture, and they have created a as a service model. So companies are no longer buying the office furniture, but renting them, which gives them a lot of flexibility. Once the company is growing, it's easy to rent a few desks. But also it gives Arend the possibility to take back their desks and make sure that everything is disassembled in the right way, and that all the materials go to recycling or to be reused again. So actually, I made a quote myself. So it's not only about designing for people anymore. I think if we don't start building something that our planet wants, that our life's going to be short. And this is, I came across this on Facebook a while ago, and it's from The Economist magazine, and it says the Roaring Twenties, thanks in part to the pandemic, the world might be about to experience a wave of technological revolution. And I really believe that it's true, because I notice that a lot of my customers, they are now looking for long-term and sustainable solutions. And I'm working with completely different companies. For one, I'm designing a product. For the other one, I'm designing a service. For the other one, I'm designing the business model, and we're starting from scratch, transforming the complete company upside down, looking at our innovation strategy. And it's very interesting to apply all these eco-design strategies to redesigning companies and the way we make and use and sell things. So I feel like I'm no longer a designer of just products, but I'm actually have become a designer of an ecosystem, because all the customers I'm working for currently, I can see coming together in like 5 years. I can see connections everywhere, and that's what makes it so interesting. We have to work together across industries to make it work. And so I really hope I have inspired you a little bit with all these examples. I can't wait to meet you all in the project, because imagine what we can do with all our waste streams in our region. And so if we cross borders and collaborate. So thank you. And if you have any questions, please be welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Birgit. Thank you for this presentation. I never heard of circular economy before, and I was like baffled how many examples you came up with where it's already a thing, and how many different areas of our life it already exists, with different, from bricks to all you mentioned before. Also, I don't think I never saw such a what you call it, good-looking presentation in a while.
Thank you.
A question to you is, in the context of Wanderful.stream, what are some personal experiences you had with Wanderful.stream?
I was the lead designer in the boot camp we had here in Belgium. So every region had their own boot camp. It was very nice. I was working with students we were working around the topic of biochar, and students from chemistry students. We were working together 3 days intensively. And the nice thing about this pandemic, to say something positive, is it was completely online, this boot camp. And I actually invited one of my colleagues in Shanghai, and he joined. So we actually worked together worldwide. And in 3 days' time, we came up with amazing solutions that the customer was really excited about. So it's really fun to think about this ecosystem, and not just from the material, but connecting partners to make it work into one product, a new product or innovation.
I really like the personal aspect of presentation you did. You said you went to Shanghai and you saw those trash bags flying around. You said it changed you or the way you look at things, but I can't imagine, like before you were like anti-environmentalist, but how much of an impact really did that have on you?
Yeah, of course, it changed me completely. This is when I realized what I was doing as a designer. I was creating this waste. So that's when I decided to change it. And I also try to do as much as possible in my daily life. So I'm going to the market and buying fresh vegetables from a farmer. So tiny little things like this in daily life. But as you can see, I just started Studio Planet 1.5 years ago. So I did everything from Shanghai till now to educate myself on this topic and to learn about innovation strategies, eco-design strategies, circular design, biotech. So yeah, here is Studio Planet, and I'm devoting my life basically to circular design.
All right. One final question to you. If you had to describe Wanderful.stream in 3 words, which 3 words would you choose?
Wow, that's a difficult one. It's wonderful. It's meaningful and connection.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Birgit. I hope
Thank you.
I can. I'm striving to quote myself one day. I really like that part. And next, we're having up Sarah Gillissen. But before we see her, we're gonna have a short introductory video of Wanderful.stream. So we see you after that.
Makers, we all make quality products. From a raw material to an end product, the whole production chain works as efficiently as possible. In a circular economy, we want to work on smarter chains. To do so, reuse is essential, recycling raw materials as well as seeing the value in waste streams. Your company's waste might become a resource for a whole new product. Therefore, we present Wanderful.stream, an Interreg project in the Meuse-Rhine-Euro region, which allows us to get to know companies and their waste streams and map them out, because all these materials can spark new ideas. Wanderful.stream connects small and medium-sized companies with designers, engineers, and business developers in order to turn waste products into new materials and applications. Something that is useless to you becomes useful again, and it's win-win for everyone. Although your waste flow may seem like a trivial matter, it could matter to others. Let's work together. Visit www.wanderful.stream for more information.
Hi.
Okay. Sarah, we saw the short introduction and we're excited to see what you have to say today.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if the video had sound with you because we couldn't hear it. So that must have been a mysterious introduction then. But anyway, I will explain you the project Wanderful.stream. My name is Sarah Gillissen. I work for University College Leuven-Diepenbeek. I am not a designer. I was very impressed by the presentations of Gerbert and Birgit. I'm very happy to see all of the experience they have. Also, what they already said is that design plays a vital role in circular economy. I think we really have to stress this. As you probably know, 80% of the environmental impact of a product is determined in the design phase. So it's massive. Design affects the quality, the lifetime, and the potential for reuse and recycling of products. So designers play a vital role in the circular economy. I will explain you the project Wanderful.stream. We are very excited to be here. One of the reasons also because we really are looking for active partners in the German region. So we are looking forward to work with you in the future. Birgit, I think I will steal a quote from you. It's really nice. You said, I decided never to design waste again. I think I will use that in the next presentation. This would actually mean that our project would not be needed anymore because we are working with waste streams, residual streams of SMEs. We want to help SMEs in the EU region to valorize their waste streams. So not yet rid of the waste, but at least we will be replacing some virgin materials for recycled materials. So I will quickly share my screen with you. to explain a little bit of the project. So it's an Interreg project. It started in January 2020 and it will run until June 23. We are 8 partners involved from the EU-regio Maas-Rijn. This is Belgian Limburg, Dutch Limburg, the province of Liège, and the region of Aachen. As said, we will help SMEs to valorize waste streams. And what is really focused in this project is that we want to combine design, technology, and business development. This interdisciplinary approach is very important. As said before, in circular economy, collaboration is key. If we want to change the way products are being used and produced, we need to change the whole ecosystem, take into account the whole value chain. So collaboration also between these disciplines is really important. Now, how do we do it? What is the first step? We first want to know in the EU region, what are the SMEs and what kind of waste streams do they have? What problems do they face? So that is the first thing, map the waste streams of the SMEs, but also we want to get to know all the experts in the EU region from design, from technology and business development, people that have experience in circular economy or big interest in circular economy. We really want to get to know you. How do we do it? We have developed a mapping tool on our website, as you can see. So the main goal is that we can find the SMEs and the experts. That's one goal. But secondly, we also want to help all people involved in circular economy to get to know each other, to find each other, to inspire each other, and to start collaborations. So on the mapping tool, you can search for interesting companies or experts, and you can also contact them directly to start thinking about new projects. So we use this mapping tool to know what waste streams are needed a solution in the EU region. And from this inventarization, we will select some challenges, some waste streams that are common for more SMEs. And these challenges, they will be translated into boot camps, as Birgit also took part in one in October last year. We will have another boot camp in October this year. And the goal is that a team of design technology experts and students will develop some innovative concepts that have a solution for the waste streams and the challenge of the SMEs. And from these concepts that are developed in the boot camps, we will select the most innovative ones, and these will be translated in an innovation track. What is an innovation track? It's a 9-month project where, again, we combine the disciplines of design, technology, and business. And during this 9-month track, the aim is to come up with a prototype, a new product or service where waste streams are used in a qualitative way. So this is the goal of the innovation track, bringing together design, technology, business, and the SMEs. SMEs can show their interest by filling in the survey, the needs analysis on Wanderful.stream/enquête. And the designers and other experts, they can register themselves on the mapping tools, so Wanderful.stream/mapping. Then one last initiative I want to share with you is an open call that was launched by the artist and the others very recently. They are looking for innovative proposals for the circular economy. You can send in your ID before the 30th of April. From these ideas, there will be a selection, and I think some of them will be showcased on the Hello Creator Festival in fall this year. But also 3 of the best designers will be possibly invited to the bootcamp to lead one of the teams and to be involved in the Wanderful.stream project. So to sum up, this are our contact details. As a designer, you can register and join Wanderful.stream today. You just go to the mapping tool and make yourself a profile. On the other hand, we like to ask you also to help to expand our community in the EU region. So if you know any other experts or you have SMEs in your network that might be interested, please also show them the website and ask them to register. We are looking forward to work with you, and together we can build a big circular hub in our beautiful region, I think. That's it.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. I have one question for you, or several actually. In Germany, designers are often meant as in product designers or fashion designers. Are you, what you're looking for, also interested in generally creative creators, like we have them a lot in Hello Creator?
For the boot camps and the innovation tracks, we are mainly looking for product designers or people with an industrial profile to really help develop the prototypes from the waste streams.
All right, okay. What do you think, because we have so much of an ecological theme today, a little bit more of a philosophical question. In what ways, as a society, do you think we need to think different to form a better way for the ecological system?
Oof, that's a huge question. I think with Wanderful.stream we like to be one little step in the whole circular economy. But for the circular economy to be successful, we need a system change. We often have lively debates within the project about these goals, but I think we take it step by step, and as people get more aware of all the consequences of buying certain products and choosing maybe others, that this could be a way of contributing to a less polluting economy.
All right. Talking of Wanderful.stream, do you think Wanderful.stream is more of a lighthouse or like a proof of concept project, or is it more like a long-term thing that is made for the next several years?
Oh, we like to be both. So it is a fixed in time, this project. But as said, like with the mapping tool, with the website, we like to be only the starting point of collaborations between designers, technology experts, and companies. And in the future, this should grow. And the prototypes we are developing within the project, we also want to make sure that after the project is finished, they will be further developed. So it won't stop in 2023.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. We will have you back in a bit, and Jean will join us too for a short interview with us three together. Until then, we have a short break, and we will have a short impression of the Continuum Museum reproduced just for you guys. So we see you after that.
Okay. Hi, my name is Bertrand. I'm responsible for program development at Continuum Discovery Center in Erfahre, where we are today. And I'm very glad that I can tell you a little bit about what we are doing, and what we are showing. Our major exhibition is about science and technology in the context of society, which means that we show how science and technology influence our life, our daily life, our work, our spare time, and what role it plays in answering of questions or finding solutions to challenges we face every day. The exhibitions we show are mainly focused at families with young children, which means there is a lot of interactivity and a lot of fun, because we think the best way to learn is to use fun. We are in Kerkrade, which is just 30 kilometers from Aachen, and without our crisis, we are opening almost every day. In the near future, we will create a virtual guided tour, which will give a very good overview about what we can offer for our visitors, how much interactivity is to find, and what kind of topics we pay attention to. We show our exhibition in different languages, at least in German and Dutch. So I would like to invite you, when the crisis is over and we are happy to open again, please pay a visit and hopefully have a lot of fun in our organization.
Well, hello, and welcome back to our wonderful stream from Hello Creator TV. I'm joined by Sarah and by Jean now. I have a few questions for you guys prepared in the context of Wanderful.stream. Mm-hmm. And I would start, we talked a little bit about this earlier, but I want to repeat that question to you, Jean. What kind of people are you looking for? What kind of enterprises and what jobs people could do in Wanderful.stream?
I mean, I think it's quite obvious that we are looking for SMEs who have good ideas by using waste streams or reused streams to develop new products. And we are looking for creative people who can help them to bring it further and to maybe even bring it to a real product which can be launched on the market. That's one part. The other part is that we are looking for students who will be and can be participating in this kind of projects and who are interested in our future and sustainability.
All right. Sarah, next question to you. Let's say I'm one of the students, I'm interested to participate. What do I need to bring to be a part of it? And what do you need of me? Do I need to send you my full CV or do I just call you up, or what is the best way to do that?
The first step would be to register on the mapping tool. Also, students are welcome to do this. And what do you need? You need good ideas and want to work with circular economy.
All right. Okay, I think I can hear you now better. I had some small issues, I'm very sorry. But I think everybody out there heard the answer, even if I didn't. My next question to you guys was like, what is the best way, how do you reach out to people? How do you motivate people to join you?
I mean, that's not an easy task because the region is broad. We have different languages, we have different culture, we have different networks. So that is something which takes a lot of work. And of course, we use communication and try to build a real network between SMEs and between the creative industry. So we use all kind of media and all kind of channels to reach out, but that takes time.
All right. I think we're participating in this kind of a way, right? Yeah. All right. Sarah, we also talked about this a little bit earlier. what happens after this project reaches a terminal date? Are you applying for new funding after that?
We haven't talked about this yet because we started only in January, and with the COVID situation, many plans have changed. But it is the ultimate goal, I think, of the most partner organizations in this project to further build on the circular economy, because nowadays it is also in many policy plans. Not only the European government, but also the local governments are taking up circular economy. So I think we all need to collaborate, not only SMEs and designers, but also university colleges, museums, knowledge institutions. We all need to work together towards this circular economy.
All right. Maybe Jean, for you, what would be goals that you want to reach with Wanderful.stream in the future, or in what way do you see Wanderful.stream in the future to look like?
I mean, I think in the presentation, the end presentation of Birgit, this was a very good quote that we have to think about our future, because we can't deal in the way we did until now. So I hope that the Wanderful.stream project is some kind of accelerator to start a movement and to help SMEs and creative industry to bring it further to a more sustainable future. I mean, it's just a small part, but it's a start.
All right. I think we were always talking about a little bit about the bigger picture, what the politics can do and what the economy needs to do. Me as a person, Sarah, do you have an idea what I as an individual can do to help?
Well, to be informed and to make, in everyday life, you can make so many choices, and it's all about the little stuff, to buy products that last longer, and to take care of them. I sometimes find it very frustrating when you buy something and it breaks down. But now we have repair cafes, and we can. Well, the movement is growing and the awareness is growing, and as an individual, you can make choices every day. But of course, that's not enough. The rest has to follow.
I think those are some wonderful end words. I hope, like maybe someday, Birgit talked about some of these 3D reusable, to put your plastic waste in there to make it really more usable. I would love to have that in my apartment, or maybe in my one available for my street. It would be wonderful. But I think we're heading towards the end of this stream right now. Thank you for all the participants who talked to us today. Thank you for Wanderful.stream, for this co-op event we had available today, and thank you, Jean, for this wonderful collocation in the Continuum. I think we never had a place like this before, and this huge robot next to us. And thanks to the team, for everyone for joining here and making this possible today. And Hello Creator TV is back at March 18, and at 5 p.m. we're back with teleshopping, where we take local artists and give them the opportunity to give them to reach out to sell their goods with the society, because we know after Corona everything is still quite locked down. We love having you here, and we hope we see you next time. We'll have the video played again from the impressions of the Continuum and the Wanderful.stream again, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Makers, we all make quality products. From a raw material to an end product, the whole production chain works as efficiently as possible. In a circular economy, we want to work on smarter chains. To do so, reuse is essential, recycling raw materials as well as seeing the value in waste streams. Your company's waste might become a resource for a whole new product. Therefore, we present Wanderful.stream, an Interreg project in the Meuse-Rhine-Euro region, which allows us to get to know companies and their waste streams and map them out, because all these materials can spark new ideas. Wanderful.stream connects small and medium-sized companies with designers, engineers, and business developers in order to turn waste products into new materials and applications. Something that is useless to you becomes useful again, and it's win-win for everyone. Although your waste flow may seem like a trivial matter, it could matter to others. Let's work together. Visit www.wanderful.stream for more information.
Okay. Hi, my name is Bertrand. I'm responsible for program development at Continuum Discovery Center in Kerkrade, where we are today. And I'm very glad that I can tell you a little bit about what we are doing, and what we are showing. Our major exhibition is about science and technology in the context of society, which means that we show how science and technology influence our life, our daily life, our work, our spare time, and what role it plays in answering of questions or finding solutions to challenges we face every day. The exhibitions we show are mainly focused at families with young children, which means there is a lot of interactivity and a lot of fun, because we think the best way to learn is to use fun. We are in Kerkrade, which is just 30 kilometers from Aachen, and without our crisis, we are opening almost every day. In the near future, we will create a virtual guided tour, which will give a very good overview about what we can offer for our visitors, how much interactivity is to find, and what kind of topics we pay attention to. We show our exhibition in different languages, at least in German and Dutch. So I would like to invite you, when the crisis is over and we are happy to open again, please pay a visit and hopefully have a lot of fun in our organization.